Hello and welcome. It's Japan, and we just had Saturday night main event, so I figured let's tear it up. And because it feels like most of the time now I'm the one that's making the tier list for these, I just put in the actual Saturday main event all together so we can actually rate it on here. So hopefully it'll be a little bit better when I look back because I like to try to do look back at the year and having to rewatch the entire event is a lot harder. So sometimes just seeing what I originally rated it and seeing the hindsight of the events makes it a little easier. But that's I digress. Let's just jump into the video. So Saturday main event was it's a long time coming since they had the last one. It was kind of like a mini PLE. A lot of people called it a glorified house show, which I honestly would be leaning towards that. I was very like jarred to see like commercials and stuff. I mean, I didn't really know what I was going into it when it happened, so like it was kind of weird for me, but I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. Get that bag when you can. So, yeah, I think overall it kind of did feel like a house show or a very special episode of Raw or SmackDown. So, I think that definitely kind of pulled back. I like the retro feel. I think they could have gone like more retro. Like there could have been some stuff that like just small stuff that they could have added. Even just a filter over it, or like having two different broadcasts about having one with like really old school field broadcasting, something like that would have made that event really cool. I don't know. There's just a little bit missing from it. So let's just jump into the matches. First off, we had Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Overall, I think this match was just a match. Like I honestly like forget sometimes when I think about this a match that or like this card that this match was on there. It just wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything too crazy. I mean, they're building up this story of like Drew taking out parts of the bloodline, and I think that storyline is very well, and it does deserve some type of like bigger show thing. So I think it definitely deserved to be on the card. It just felt like the match itself was okay. I put it in C. It's probably one of the worst matches for these guys in it, but I think overall, I mean, it was still a okay match. Next up, we have for the women's championship. I almost put Rhea Ripley automatically because she's there. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. There's a couple progressions in this match that I want to point out. I think overall, Io, when she can wrestle somebody that's roughly around her size and strength, Io looks so good in that ring. When you don't have her going against like a behemoth or just somebody who's like a technician or like something that's gonna be like very technical and slow compared to like being able to jump around and kind of do the same type of swings. I feel like definitely makes her look worse. So this one made her look great. I think that knee strike that busted Liv's nose was amazing. I don't know how planned it was, and I don't think obviously they were expecting it to be that like graphic with the blood and stuff, but I thought it looked good. It made Io overall look good. And some people will agree and disagree with this, but I felt like Liv shouldn't have won clean to make Io look like. I feel like Io needed that momentum to like if she's gonna lose, make her lose like not in a way that she just gets straight up pinned, which they ended up doing. So that part I didn't like. If we put the ending also of the match where Rhea Ripley came out, I think also kind of just wasn't the thing. It kind of takes away from the match itself. Like, just let if Liv's gonna win clean and look super strong or looking like she's back on it, just let her leave there. I don't know why you don't have Rhea come out there and do that because I know it's a cheap pop, and I automatically knew they were gonna do that, but I didn't feel like it was needed. So I think overall, I'll put it in A. I think the match itself was solid. A couple pieces could have been better, and but an A is still really good to be on this card. Next up, we have the triple threat, which is Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. This one's a weird one to me because I didn't expect much of it. I wasn't really into the match. Like I kind of knew this felt like kind of a shut and door type match. Like not saying that I felt anybody else was gonna lose that I like predicted, but this one for sure just was like I don't think they're taking the belt off of Gunther here at all. It would have to be something crazy. I don't think they're gonna do anything insane on this PLE. And sure enough, they didn't. But this one definitely didn't feel that way. And they made Gunther look a lot stronger. I don't really understand what was the whole thing that he's been going through. I don't know. It just felt like they kind of erased that. Maybe like they thought it wasn't working, so they just wanted to make him strong again. But I mean, they did, and I think overall the match wasn't too poor because of that. He looked good. Finn Balor looked good. Damian Priest looked pretty good. It was just like all of them just were solid. Like it was a solid match. I guess I just put it in B. It's middle of the road to me. I definitely would never like. I'm gonna go watch that match again. I just it wouldn't be something that I'd ever bring up or like even either of any three of those men be like, this is a good match for watch of theirs. So I wouldn't put it any higher. It was like it's solid, should have been on the card. I definitely think it was warranted to be on this card, but it wasn't anything too crazy. Next up, we have the Meacham versus Chelsea Green for the U.S. title. There was a lot in this match that I liked. I think the match themselves, like between the two, have good chemistry. They've wrestled before. The storyline that they've had just kind of like a sub little like back and forth for the last couple months, and it kind of ended up paying off here. Kind of worked out if you're kind of like a person who watches SmackDown on a regular basis because they've been kind of hovering around each other. They had the trash can match. They've had like matches and had some stuff that like it makes a lot of sense that it was these two. I think the ending was very beautiful. I like the way that Chelsea Green got the unprettier on Meacham to win it. I got it was one of those matches where I didn't care who won because it was just like I was happy. I was like I was just happy either person. Like they both were very well deserved in a very well deserved position there. Like Meacham has put in so much work over the last year. Like she's put in tons of character work. She's put in a lot of time and effort, and her matches have gone way better. And like it's not even like I don't think she never was putting on bad matches. It's that she just makes very good use of her time. If she knows she's only going to get 10 minutes of screen time in 4 weeks, those 10 minutes are going to be really good, and you're going to remember that you want more Meacham. And obviously, Chelsea Green almost doesn't even get match time, but just she made you remember her with all of her backstage stuff. The Money in the Bank stuff was great, and the selling she did last Royal Rumble made her deserve this 100% because that was so good and made that match so memorable. Because like you remember spots, you remember Jade coming, Jordan Grace, you those type of things. But when it comes down to it, the main thing I remember, at least in the match itself, was all the shots and hits that Chelsea was taking. Like it was on accident and stuff, but it was good work. And I think it was good. I think this was a good choice here, and I think they all have Meacham get a rematch, and I think this is going to be something that's going to be solid. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this U.S. title, and I think it was a good choice, and I think this match was pretty good. I'm going to put it in a. Again, I don't think it was like the most like 5-star match ever. I would necessarily go back to watching, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I watched it, intently. I really wanted to know. It really felt like anything could happen because there was no like favorite to win it. So sometimes when you have that, it's nice. Next up, and which is the main event, was Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. I think like going into this, their mic skill and like that whole like what KO is spouting about, Cody being a terrible friend and all that. I think it's like it's so red hot that like the match was going to be somewhat of a letdown in my eyes no matter what because they're just so good on the mic. And it's not like necessarily a bad thing when I say that. It's just it just feels like kind of a letdown because you're just like, well, I mean, look how good this was. We can't get better than this. And sure enough, we really didn't because it was a good match. I feel like there's some good spots in it. It kind of played out the same way as their last match, but like KO just kind of wanted to do it. But then even when we go to like the ending, they cut out after the match with the pile driver and Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes, like all that type of stuff. I don't know why. I don't really know why that was cut out. That just felt like a kind of a bad call there, and that kind of would have pushed the match up a lot more. Also, I feel like with the Winged Eagle belt, that was cool. I was really glad to see that. I would love to see it again, and I would love to see him like just have it. Honestly, I think it felt better to see Cody with that. I don't know. I like that title a lot for Cody's like whole outfit, everything. So I think all of that was pretty good. I think the match itself just kind of still falls into a B. Just kind of forgettable. I think the match had some good spots. They had some good work into it, but I almost feel like you get so overly hyped by their promos, to at least to me, that like I was built up to like this is going to be just this balls to the wall, great match. Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't anything crazier than I've seen either one of these two done over the last year. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. So we'll go with the overall show ratings. I feel like this is kind of a weird thing because like if you rate it as a PLE, I'd put this pretty low because it was just predictable. Nothing really was crazy. No big surprises. Nothing anything like insane. But if you put it as like a Raw or SmackDown average, I think it was above of Raw and SmackDown. Obviously, you had so many title matches on the card that kind of beats most Raws and SmackDowns that only have at max two, sometimes three if you get super lucky or like super crazy. So I think overall, I think I'd put it in C. I thought it was just decent. Like I liked it. Wouldn't be something I'd go back and watch probably. I definitely think on the next one that they have, more retro feels I think would definitely help. I definitely think they could do good with maybe if they're gonna make it kind of like a show to have a little bit more promos of the people. Like it just kind of felt like they were doing outside stuff. And I also personally, I like Jesse Ventura like in other stuff, but I did not like him in this, and I didn't feel like he had any chemistry with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. That definitely broke the immersion on the last match too, because it was just like it just kind of felt awkward listening to it, and yeah, so that's my overall thing. I thought it was a C. I don't think it was the worst thing. Definitely not the worst show this year. So I think that helps. And we'll see what the next one goes because I think that's the next major event is the next Saturday Night Main Event, and then we have Royal Rumble and then Elimination Chamber. So we're getting there, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. So. Yeah, make sure you're checking out the channel. We have had daily videos. We have a series of TEW on here. It's a wrestling game that has like our own little promotion. And if you'd like to join in on the conversation there and stuff, the videos come out once a week. And if you get enough likes on it, I'll be putting out more content with it. So yeah, just check out the channel. I think you guys will like it. This has been Japan. Bye, guys.